He is, poor baby. Poor little fella.
But you got away without a bite.
It's not my first rodeo. Oh, good boy. What a smart pony. Pumpkin and honey. Oh, they'll sort it out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go explore a little bit. I'm going to set up a camera and I'll be right with you.
We only have the spot where we're keeping him, even that's like this.
That's up. Well, where you live, there's a lot of hills up there. What town do you live in?
We don't live in a town.
Okay. What's your address?
It's
Bentonville.
Fayetteville. That is the address, but it's like the farthest away from Fayetteville possible. It's past Elkins a lot. We have a barn. Dad built it for a music studio, but we're going to try to build
Okay. Who's that? Oh. Just the boys. Okay. I'll tell you what, hang on to this too for me. So everything we do is based on building a relationship with a horse, and to do that we have to show him that we have something that he wants. Just like if somebody wanted to be your friend, they don't necessarily have something you want, but that's going to attract you to want to be with them because they have stuff that, you know, games or stuff you would like to play with, or food for horses, or somebody to scratch their back. So if we can, oh no.
Yeah.
I guess he'll be all right.
Well, I put some Vetericyn on him, but it's
Yeah.
been a day, so
We got a little bit of infection underneath that still.
well, it was swollen the other day, but it's calmed down. But I do need to put something on him.
He didn't get out of the way fast enough that time, did he? So first things first, if your horse wants to be with you, he's not going to be hard to catch. And to get him to want to be with you, you have to show him, give him things, do things for him that he likes, so that he wants to be around you. Just like any friend you have, they do things you like, and you want to keep. You do things they like, cause them want to be around you. You like the same things. So he may even like going doing trail riding or barrel racing or any of that stuff, but if he doesn't think that you're being a good friend to him in his mind, giving him the things that he needs and wants, doing the things he likes, then he's not going to want to do things that you like. And that's where all the discombobulation happens, because the horse is going, well, I'm a lot bigger than this little person. If I do this, this, and that, maybe they'll leave me alone. They're a prey animal. They're programmed by Mother Nature to frustrate predators. And humans are predators. The ultimate predator, and the horses are the ultimate prey animal. They've learned to survive and thrive all these years. We wouldn't have hardly anything that we have nowadays if it wasn't for the horse advancing society in the world. The fastest we can go before the horse was as fast as you could run. Now it was for 10,000 years you could go as fast as a horse could go. So they played a very integral role in our development into society. Instead of treating them like they're just a possession, a commodity, if we can develop a language where we can communicate with them, and horses communicate mostly through body language. In fact, most everything you need to know about horses you can figure out by watching them in a herd long enough. Because everything we're trying to, every way we try to communicate is exact replica of, or as exact as we can replicate it, as how the horses communicate with each other through pressure and energy. So like you understand, you pull on the bit, there's pressure hitting this side of his mouth, so he should move away from that pressure. We're just trying to refine that communication down to when you feel my hand reach for that rein, you should already be going, I know what you're going to say, let me say it. It's more like a conversation. You should never have to pull him around. If he doesn't understand, and you didn't prepare him to understand what that pressure, what you expected when he felt that pressure. So like right now, I'm going to ask his hindquarters to step away, and just through energy, just through my body, and almost, I have this here if I needed it, that I would start swinging it and swinging it stronger and stronger until I touched his back leg, and then I'd touch it a little stronger until he did what he just did through the energy that I was focusing at his hindquarters. So once they know what we want and they agree to be a willing participant, then you don't need any pressure. It takes a while to build that relationship strong enough, because have you ever tried to learn a different language? It's not easy. So that's all this is you learn to play an instrument. You play any musical instruments? How long does that take? And you're always getting better, but it's still, you remember back in the days when you first picked it up, what it was like. That's all it is with horses. The timeline's just a lot longer than people assume, because some people can jump on and make them do things and make it look easy. If you use enough force, the horse will do it until they won't, and then you gotta send him to somebody who can fix him, and all they're doing is just desensitizing them so much that they just don't want to do anything at all. So now they're not going to do anything crazy, and they'll go try to do what you want, but they'll end up being really lazy and dull. Or he just wants to be around me. I'm not even giving him any cookies. I'm just, he likes all the places I can scratch him. If you think about horses in a herd, there's a lot of places on their body they can't scratch. But if they got a buddy, they can scratch. You've seen them do that before. Scratch each other's withers or butts. That's what makes them, that's the little things that horses do together that makes them want to be together. They know instinctually that they have to be in a herd of some sort, at least one other being, so that they can feel they have a chance. They don't have to watch 360 degrees. They got one half of their party watching half of it. She didn't take no for an answer.
Well, at least she did step back.
So if you build that relationship, that's really what's missing, is that horse thinks that whatever you're going to do is going to be great for him. And if until your relationship is strong, you can come and do 99% of the stuff that he likes and only 1% of the stuff you like. And then the next day, he won't mind giving you 2%. The next day, 3%. And before you know it, it won't just keep going a percentage at a time. Before you know it, if you're doing things that he really likes, and he can't wait to see you at the gate when you do show up, and
The places where we keep him are like 10 acres. Each field's 10
Yeah.
acres. So we have to search and search. They
Well,
were so
you-
easy to just call Jiminy October.
Yeah. So it all starts when you're with him. So I would just get in the round pen with him, and I'll show you the concept. You'd probably find better videos if you search on YouTube, Pirelli and catching game, and it'll give you a better idea, because it's easy to get it wrong if you don't really understand the full steps. Now he's not hard to catch, so I won't be able to demonstrate that on him. I don't even think we have a horse. It would be a little hard. Well, I could make them a little hard to catch, but the whole concept is, if you're in a round pen like this and you just give out the energy, I want you to come be curious about me. If horses are either curious or scared, one or the other. They're either curious about something, or they got their alert on and they're worrying about if there's anything going to get them. Just because they live in a 10-acre pasture their whole life, they don't know that they're safe. Hey! Oh, mean girl's so jealous. She don't want anybody around but her and her friends. Oh, I forgot what I was saying. You don't know what I'm saying? Anyway, the idea is to get, if the horse is either in a curious state and wanting to connect and see if you would be interesting and entertaining, charismatic. He already knows me, so he already knows what he can expect from me. But if they don't, then we just put pressure on their hindquarters. And most horses that are indifferent, or they see, oh, you got all this energy, I'm just going to run around and run around. You say, good. As long as you're cantering, you can run around, you can canter around all you want. As soon as you're not cantering, I'm going to take, say I use this long rope, and I'll have a halter on it, and I'll throw it towards their hip, and I throw it kind of in an arc, and it won't hit them. But they'll go, oh, that almost hit me, and they'll speed up to a canter again. Eventually, they're going to go, this isn't getting me anywhere. And they'll look to you, and as soon as they look to you, because you're kind of all the time pushing them, keeping them in that canter. And if they're staying in the canter, you don't put any more pressure. You just follow them around until you see them, because they're going to be looking out and looking up and looking everywhere. As soon as they look at you, you take and step away. So if he's going this way, I'd turn and step away, and that gives him the opportunity. He may still be going, but he's looking at you, coming towards you. And if you're moving away for a prey animal, things that move away give them confidence. So when we go to catch horses, we usually go catch the horse. What you should do to build the horse's confidence is set it up so that he wants to catch you, like this. Get stronger and stronger and stronger until she gets back. Yeah, you're not being effective. She doesn't believe that you mean it. There you go.
The reason why I got bucked off that Sunday was because he was trying to look out, and I've let him for so long that, and then my new trainer was like, don't let him do that. So we did it a few times, and I wouldn't let him look out, and finally we got to this one spot he was really interested in, and he looked out, and I pulled his head back down, and he didn't like it.
Yeah. So the reason he's looking out is because he doesn't feel like you're doing anything that he likes to do, that you're just using him as a tool to learn how to ride or go do some game that he doesn't understand at all. So we want our horses to do whatever we want them to do, but we have to break it down to the simplest parts. Just like how long did it take you to read? How long did you learn? Before that, how long did you learn the alphabet? Before that, how did you count to 10? All these things take time, and nobody spends the time to put those basic things in that they need to know. That's what I was talking about when I asked his hindquarters move. That energy, I'm using energy. He doesn't feel the energy, so I'm going to start stepping it up with more pressure. He doesn't know, and there. As soon as he does the right thing, I take the pressure off and reward him. And the reason I'm asking for a particular way to move that hindquarters, it causes him not to be able to move forward, and it causes him to have to relax through his ribs. Have you ever heard of teachers say people that get anxious and get all wound up, use your words and stretch and breathe? That triggers your body to start relaxing when when one gets stretchier than the other one and the other one contracts, and then you take them back the other way. That causes your body to get ready to start relaxing, so it can shut your brain down. Your brain just gets run over, and then your body tightens up, and then you can't shut off that anxious feeling. If you can move your ribs and breathe, then your body will reset and go, oh, whew. That's a little thing we're trying to do. Little exercises like that, and it's control of their body. So if they're going along, so that translates to pressure in this area. So if I push over here, he should go that way. If I push up here, he should go that way on the front end. So if we're riding along and I want him to go this way, I may push this way, and he's going to go, oh, I'm going to have to do one of those hindquarter yields at a walk. So all he's doing is the same thing, stepping over, but as he does, he's got to move. As he does, he steps over, and he's going to turn a little bit. And I'm going to support that with either the rein or my outside leg touching him up front. And as soon as he understands, everything's just about moving away from pressure. It's the same thing. You already know you're moving away from you're teaching him to move away from pressure. You can just do it at a suggestion rather than a tell and a make. You don't have to be those heavy phases. You know how sensitive your mouth is inside. Theirs is just as sensitive. That can all be that they don't need any pressure. They don't need any bridle bit at all. It's if they know what you want and they want to do what you want to do, because they like being with you, because you do whatever you do for them that they like, you don't need anything on them. There's tons of videos. You see people doing reining patterns and jumping and all bridleless. It's just the basic understanding of each other that you need to know. Once you get that, there's nowhere you can't go, because you have an understanding, his understanding, because you started it here. When I go like this, put pressure on your hindquarters, either through physical or energetic pressure. That's hard to understand. It's hard to explain. Think about if you get really mad at somebody, you go, at them like that. When you feel that's energy, your energy coming up, like Linda needs to get her energy up. So don't move your feet, just your energy. There you go. But when you get your energy up and they understand, oh, I know what that feels like, because other horses do it just like she did it to him. She didn't even have to run after him. She just pinned her ears. He saw him stepping towards her, and he took off because she's done it before. And if he doesn't move, he's going to get bit. She might have been the one that got him on his back. It's the same concept we're trying to get with our horses, only a lot gentler. I said when we're getting ready to bite, either you start moving in the direction away from the bite, or you're going to get bit. I'm not going to stop, and then I'm going to start again. Instead of with the way most people do it, they just keep pulling and pulling and pulling instead of giving the horse a chance to understand what it is they want him to do. Now I'm going to ask him to go backwards with just my energy. He doesn't understand, and he doesn't want to go away from me, so it takes a little more energy than what I started with. But if my horse thinks every little thing I ask him just like a pop quiz, and if he can get that answer right, hindquarter yield, nope, that was wrong. Pressure stays the same, maybe gets a little better, a little stronger, still not hurting him, not really even touching him. As soon as he does the right thing, pressure goes away, positive reinforcement follows. Horse, like anywhere the horse can't reach themselves, which is most of their body, unless they have trees, and there's still a lot of places they can't reach, inside their ears, under their chin, under their belly, really will make a big impression on them that you really do want to do things for them and with them, and not just to them.
You can tell that makes you feel good, can't you?
And so he's no free rides. He's still got to learn. He's just like us. You got to do a little something. You get a little paycheck. You do a little chore. You get paid a little bit. That's all we're doing is asking, can you do these little things? I'm going to ask his forequarters to move away. So I'm going to touch him on the shoulder, and I'm going to start adding pressure. And he doesn't know what to do, so the pressure is going to get closer. That's back. That's not away. Back, not away. So when he moves his nose out of the way, it's going to take his foot and go with him. Ah, good boy, Jiminy. Now once he understands this, about 3 more times, I'll just start going like this, and he'll go, I know what you want. I don't have to touch him at all, and we're going where we want to go. I'll bring, well, we can already do that. We can go what we call a game called Stick to Me. With my energy, I'm going to ask him where to be. When he's not there, I'm going to put pressure on any part of his body that's not in the position I want it to be. And as soon as he tries, especially in the beginning, he hasn't done this in a long time, so every time he does one step right, I'm going to go, good boy. Let's start again. And then you'll once you see that you can get, once you notice you can get one step with just starting to think about it. Every time you start to ask him to do something, you go through a series of events before you ask him and set up a pattern, and you start to ask him, and when they get better, then you can start to think, next time I'm going to ask him for 2 steps and see how that goes. And see if he thinks, oh, it's not that much harder than the 1, so I can do that. And then the next day you'll be able to do 3 steps, maybe 4 steps, before you have to stop and ask them. You can do it 100 times, but as long as you give them good reason to do it, they're going to go, oh, sure. Just like if I told you to go over there and throw some sand in the air. Would you think? Well, why would you ask me to do that? So a lot of times the horses don't have any idea why we're asking them to do anything. But if it pays good, if I gave you $100 to go throw some sand in there, you go, how many, $200? Let me do it again. That's all we're trying to do. Overpay that horse so he thinks whatever you want to do. If it pays that good, it just, like I said, it just starts out little steps at a time, and before you know it, you get them coming along with you, and they're going, hey, you're more interesting than my buddies. I'm out there with my buddies. Sometimes they won't scratch me. Sometimes they want to bite me. Sometimes I don't want to play, and they just want to pester me. And I got flies, and I got itchy spots, and I don't have anything to eat. And then you come around, and you go, oh, I got cookies for you, and I got scratches, and oh, can you do this? And oh, it might take a couple minutes, and he goes, oh, I can do it. Okay, good job. Good job. 1 step. You'd be surprised how quickly it adds up. You can watch the videos on these babies. We got it all the way from when we started to when I started getting ready to ride them. Of course, we'd build a relationship with them from the time they were born. Because Jiminy's very gentle, he's very okay with, hey, I got my good stick. How big is that flag on that stick on the ground?
How big is it?
Yeah. Ah, it's okay. I'll use this. But always remember, the horse they don't really know anything. They're walking around trying to stay out of trouble, staying out into the comfort zone and out of pressure. So if we just use that already programming that they already have to be seek comfort, then we can set it up so we add pressure on one place until they try to seek comfort in the right direction, and we release the pressure and add the positive reinforcement, so they'll understand. Well, whatever that means, I don't know what that means, but every time I do this, when they do it, they start telling me, well, I'm a good boy. And every time I don't do anything, or I do anything but that, the pressure just stays the same and maybe gets a little more and more and more until it just becomes annoying. That's all you're thinking. Well, I'm just trying to annoy my horse a little bit at a time until he goes, okay, let me just try going that direction. And we're making it easy enough for him because we've done it on the ground so much. We're adding pressure in the same way with our legs, or again, we can do it with the stick with our energy here. So it's kind of a little game of Simon Says. I didn't ask him to go forward, but I'm not going to get mad that he did, because he doesn't know anything. So when So when he started going forward, I just started putting pressure on the front of his neck with this string, a little bit at a time, and finally he was like, what does that mean? Why is that all of a sudden getting tight? And he tried something, which was stopping, and it happened to be the right thing. So now he gets the scratches. And can you see how he's breathing? He looks calm, but he's a little bit, wow, what just happened? Because we don't do this very often at all with him. But he's done a lot of things, but he hasn't done a lot of things naturally. So he's still processing it through his body, through his mind, trying to get his body to relax. In his experience, it could be crazy stuff coming up pretty soon. You just never know. Licking and chewing now. He's finally relaxing, going, okay. The horses think really slow. They move really fast. So in order to speed up their thinking, to get them to do things we want them to do, we have to build a pattern. How long does it take you to tie your shoes? Probably about 3 seconds if you've done it all your life, right? You don't have to talk yourself through the steps anymore. You just, so it's the same thing. Everything we're trying to do is just broken down into little steps, and we just teach them all the little steps, just like you were taught how to tie your shoes. And before long, you don't have to think about it. It's just happening. It just happens. You just brushing your hair, all the little things you've ever learned to do is started out with one little time. So I'm putting a little pressure here on his neck, on his left side of his neck. Now I'm going to sit off to his left side a little bit. He's starting to breathe heavy again. He's starting to worry. So I'm adding all these pressures very slow. Starting to push a little pressure off my leg, coming a little closer with the stick, adding some energy with that. Going the wrong direction. There. As soon as he tried in the right direction, I released. Like I said, he hasn't done this a bunch. So he's a good lesson horse here. Now this time I'm going to make it easier for him to understand. I'm going to put pressure further up on his neck. Stop moving forward first. Stop moving forward first. I'm not pulling on him. I'm just holding the pressure that he put in. And as soon as he stops putting pressure forward, almost like he was tied to a tree here. I'm just trying to be that tree he's tied to. And as soon as he goes, oh, I better take the pressure off that rope and take a step towards that tree, I didn't take the pressure off, he did. He stepped towards the pressure, away from the pressure, so it was coming on his chest, and he backed up to get it to move away from his chest. So he's worrying, he's a little confused. But these are the little things most people miss, because he looks like he's ready to go. And physically he's ready to go, but mentally and emotionally he's a little confused. So he's doing exactly the opposite of what I need him to do. So he's just running into that pressure. There he goes. There he goes. He says, oh, I figured this game out. That was easy. There it is. I probably should have waited a little bit. He was still worrying, breathing heavy. There you go. Oh, where's allergies? Wrong answer, wrong answer. Don't go forward. There you go. Right turn clutch, left turn clutch. Don't go forward. There. Says, I understand that one. I know how to do that one. I don't know if you saw that. He thought that way pretty quickly. So I took that and rewarded that, because if I can start to get that eye to go at the first feel, that's the first thing that needs to happen in a turn anyway. So I'm going to reward whatever he'll give me easily. I'm not going to go, well, you did it way over here 10 minutes ago. I'm going to wait till you do that again. He's a little confused. You want to be progressive, but you got to understand they think really slow. Lots of repetitions, just like tying your shoe till you get really good at it. Oh, now he's got a distraction. Rough. There you go. All right. There we go. Look at that champion pony. Look at that champion pony. Now if I had reins on, all I would do was pick up the rein until he looked at me, and then I'd point, but I wouldn't pull him around. I would just ask him, the rein would get a little tighter, and I'd point that way so there's a little bitty tiny pressure on his bit, and then I'd do the same thing, add pressure with my leg, my stick, till he thought to move away from the pressure. Once they know the right answer, they're going to do it 100 times out of 100, unless they're being ornery. The next horse I bring over, he'll be ornery. One of the boys. So just like people, if you're in an excited state, it's hard to learn anything. You have to be relaxed and not worried about anything to have the open mind to learn. And that's the other piece that's usually missing. People don't wait for the horse to really relax.
If there's like a parade at the end of the day at school, then you're going to try to rush through all your schoolwork. So
And that's all. And the horse, if especially, that's why it'll prove to you that if your horse doesn't like you, he hard to catch, and he can't wait to get back to the pasture. It's the same deal. But if he likes you, like you see these horses around here, we can't get rid of them. Get away! Get away! We're busy.
And that's okay, because I had a horse just like you had too, and didn't know what to do. Now, see, I now know what to do about it, but I didn't then when I was your age. So you're way ahead of me. You got more knowledge than I have.
There he is. There's Jiminy. You want a cookie? Jiminy. Jiminy. You like a Jiminy cookie? Oh yeah, we love Jiminy cookies. That's our favorite kind of cookies. So if you can just get your horse thinking, we're just learning to count, learning our alphabet, learning just every day is going to be something new and different, and all they have to do is one little step in the right direction and they get paid really well for it. Horses are always doing one of two things, either what they're supposed to do or what they think they need to do to survive. So when they're acting like they're doing, it's not because they're trying to be bad. In their mind, they're just trying to survive. They don't understand what's going on anywhere. It doesn't make sense to them. I need to get work. I can get comfortable. 10 acres, that'll work. But if we can get our horses to think where the most comfort and safety is, we're such good herd members that they'd rather be around us than the other herd members. Other herd members aren't near as nice to them as we are. But we're always doing just like horses do to each other. I know. So smart. He's so smart. Okay, next one will have a little more life to him. Okay, Jimmy, go get some hay.